Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Natanggap niyo na ba ang 13th month pay niyo? If so, then hopefully hindi pa siya ubos. Pero kung hindi niyo pa natatanggap, alam niyo na ba kung saan siya gagamitin? Well, recently, may isang company na nag-invite sa akin to conduct an online seminar to discuss just that. Ano ba yung mga smart money moves na pwedeng gawin sa 13th month pay? At yan ang isi-share natin today. Pero bago ang lahat, I hope ay nakasubscribe na kayo sa ating YouTube channel, youtube.com/readytoberichyt, and nakalike and follow sa ating Facebook page na facebook.com/readytoberich. And with that, panoorin natin itong video clips ng aking online seminar. Let's start our presentation with the psychology of windfalls. Ano ba yung windfall na yan? When I say windfall, I am referring to a lump of cash, an amount of cash na bigla nyong na-receive. So, usually it is unexpected, but when it comes to your 13th month pay, expected naman yan. However, the point here is, pera ito na hindi part ng regular income ninyo. And hindi lang 13-month pay or Christmas bonus. Minsan pag may nagregalo sa inyo, binalatuhan kayo ng kaibigan ninyo na nanalo sa bingo, etc. Or nanalo kayo sa office presentation at nakakuha kayo ng cash prize. So these are all windfalls. And according to psychologists, pag yung pera comes from a windfall, we tend to spend it differently. So ang reason kung bakit we spend it differently is because of two cognitive biases, which is yung mental accounting and present bias. So when I say mental accounting, bakit why do you spend the money differently? Kasi yung sweldo natin, ang mindset natin diyan, gagamitin ko to para sa needs ko. Gagamitin ko siya para pambayad ng kuryente, pambili ng grocery, etc. Pero kapag yung pera galing sa windfall, galing sa irregular source of income, like 13th month pay, ang iniisip natin sa kanya, ay ano to, bonus to, or reward to. Pwede ko tong gamitin para sa mga wants ko. So, deserve ko tong bagong damit na to, bibilin ko to with my Christmas bonus. So, there's that difference in mindset because when money feels like a reward or a gift, we lower our guards. Hindi tayo masyadong conscious kung saan natin siya gagamitin. That's mental accounting. The second cognitive bias is yung present bias naman. Ibig sabihin nito, mas pinaprioritize natin yung immediate pleasure over long-term benefit. Hindi tayo masyadong nag-iisip ng delayed gratification kapag yung pera na na-receive natin ay instant. So, sabi nga nila, di ba, pag hindi mo pinaghirapan yung pera, madali mo siyang magastos. Yung 13th month pay, madali mo siya, nakuha mo siya as a bonus sa trabaho, so may tendency ka na gamitin mo siya for instant gratification. Siyempre, psychologically, meron din tayong dopamine spikes. It feels good to buy something. Kaya nga merong sinasabi na retail therapy. Tapos, it comes at the end of the year, so feeling natin, deserve ko na bumili ng something nice for myself kasi yun yung Christmas gift ko na sa sarili ko. And also, there's a culture of spending during the holidays. Marami ka talagang nakikita ng mga bazaars, may mga sale, lahat ng kilala mo, nagsha-shopping, etc. So, parang feel mo na dapat ganun din ako. So, there's a present bias na gastusin yung pera. Also, pagdating sa present bias, just imagine this. Ano ang pipiliin mo? Makakuha ng 10,000 pesos ngayon or 12,000 next year? 10,000 ngayon or 12,000 next year? So, I know most people, ang pipiliin nila, para mas gusto ko na may 10,000 pesos ako ngayon. Kasi na-imagine na kagad nila ano yung mga pwede nilang bilhin with the 10,000. Without thinking na kung ma-receive ko yung 12,000 next year, that is 20% higher, di ba? 20% higher than the current offer. And if you're aware sa mga different types of investments in the Philippines, walang pwedeng magbigay ng more than 20% per year. Okay? Kung may nag-o-offer sa inyo ng investment na 20% or more per year ang return, that's probably a scam. So para sa akin, it's a good opportunity to delay the gratification na parang mas gusto kong piliin yung 12,000 next year kasi that's 20% higher than the current offer. But ang initial, ang impulsive na choice natin is, ay, gusto ko din 10,000 pesos ngayon kasi pang Noche Buena na yun ng pamilya namin this coming holidays, di ba? Or pambili ko na yan ng regalo sa sa jowa ko, parang ganyan, di ba? So there's really the present bias. So with these two cognitive biases, yung mental accounting tsaka present bias, yan yung reason kung bakit may tendency talaga tayo na hindi pagplanuhan kung saan natin gagastusin yung Christmas bonus natin. So we have our 13th month pay and the common mindset is we are more likely to splurge it. Ina-underestimate natin yung long-term impact nito sa finances natin. Hindi natin kagad naiisip na, teka, pwede nitong mapabuti yung financial situation ko. And there's the tendency na once a year lang to dumadating, so I want to take advantage of this. I want to reward myself. I want to buy something nice for myself. However, if you recognize itong mga cognitive biases na to, you can definitely have more awareness and be more intentional on how you will spend your 13th month pay. So with the 13th month pay, but you want to be smarter with it, you can make smarter choices by number one, reframing it as part of your annual income. So hindi siya bonus, hindi siya reward para sa trabaho mo. It is actually part of your salary. In fact, it is mandated by the government, it is mandated by law na makareceive ka ng 13th month pay. So part yan ng income mo. Which means, how do you spend your salary? Di ba ang first priority natin pag dumadating yung sweldo is bayaran yung mga utility bills, bumili ng mga needs natin, etc. So yung 13th month pay, it should be the same mindset. This is for my necessities. Maganda rin na bago mo pa man matanggap yung mga Christmas bonuses, 13th month pay, or bago mo pa man siya i-withdraw sa ATM mo, alam mo na kung saan mo siya gagamitin. So, decide on the allocation because that will help you become more intentional. If you can set up an automatic savings plan or an automatic investment plan, that's better. Ngayon, yung mga financial institutions, mga banks, even the digital wallets, and also yung mga investment institutions, they can actually set you up an automatic saving or investment plan. Later on, I will discuss yung mga government-sponsored investments like Pag-ibig MP2 o yung SSS Pension Booster. These are long-term investment products that you can actually set up to automatically debit from your salary. Auto-debit na siya sa sweldo mo, hindi mo na siya iisipin, pero you are slowly but surely building wealth for your future. Okay? So the trick is to avoid making decisions in the heat of excitement. So wag masyadong ma-excite sa parating na pera, kailangan upuan, pag-isipan. Always remember that even a small amount can have a big impact in your future. And just to show you, let me talk about some investments. So if you keep 10,000 pesos per year in a bank, gaano katagal bago ka magkakaroon ng 500,000 pesos? Iniiwanan mo lang siya sa bangko. Let's say na sa yung bangko, ang interest rate niya ay 1% per annum. Nagko-compound siya monthly. So every year nag-iipon ka ng 10,000 pesos per year. You will have 500,000 after 41 years. Pero, what if yung 10,000 per year na yon, ininvest mo? Instead of just letting it sleep in a savings account, ininvest mo siya in an investment that grows 7% per annum compounded quarterly. You will have ₱500,000 after 22 years. Na half kagad, di ba? So from 41 years na nasa savings account, 22 years na lang, meron ka ng ₱500,000. Inisip nyo, ano kaya yung 7% per annum compounded quarterly? That's Pag-ibig MP2, but I'll talk about that more later. Ngayon, what if you invest 10,000 per year, pero dinadagdagan mo ng ₱1,000 every year. So, this year, 10,000 pesos yung ininvest mo. Next year, ginawa mong 11,000. The year after that, ginawa mong 12,000. Iniisip mo, 1,000 lang yung dinadagdag ko. Will that have a big impact? Yes. Kasi, if you increase your investment by only 1,000 pesos per year, you will reach ₱500,000 in 17 years. So nakatipid ka ng 5 years. 1,000 pesos lang yung dinadagdag mo per year, pero mas mabilis mong na-achieve yung financial goal mo of ₱500,000 ng 5 years earlier. Very important talaga yung mga small amounts because it can compound. Ngayon, this is a great example of why it's important to invest a good amount of your 13th month pay. What if ang ini-invest mo 1,000 per month? So in a year, that's how much? That's 12,000 pesos a year. Kasi 1,000 per month. But would you believe na it will take you 23 years to reach ₱500,000? Bakit mas matagal? Kasi very important yung 10,000 pesos na ininvest mo kagad nung umpisa pa lang. Investing a large amount early tends to have a better impact on your finances. Kaya napakaganda ng opportunity nitong 13th month pay kasi it's a lump sum of money. Medyo malaki siya. So, i-invest mo siya kagad ngayon, lump sum, it will really have a great impact on your financial security. Kesa yung, kukuha lang ako ng konti tapos every month mag-i-invest ako. So, even if you're investing 1,000 per month, you're investing more money, 12,000 pesos a year na yan, it will take you longer to reach ₱500,000 versus investing a lump sum of 10,000 pesos now and then just increasing your investment 1,000 pesos per year. Another great way to spend your 13th month pay is by paying off your debts. So let's say na meron kang 50,000 pesos na utang sa credit card. If you're paying 3,000 pesos per month, you will pay off all your debts in 24 months. Pag tinasan mo yan ng 4,000 pesos per month, you will become debt-free earlier at 16 months. Pero, kung mag-pay ka ng one time na 10,000 pesos, tapos gawin mo ng 4,000 pesos per month, you will become debt-free 3 months earlier. Wala ka ng utang after 1 year and 1 month, after 13 months. So, again, napakalaki ng impact nung lump sum sa umpisa. And even if ayoko mag-lump sum, gusto ko 5,000 per month ako magbabayad. So, if you just pay 5,000 pesos per month on a 50,000 pesos credit card debt na nag-i-incur ng 3% per month, it will take you 13 months to pay off your debt. So kung makikita ninyo, paying a large amount early is usually better than paying off debts. So yung nagbayad ka ng 10,000 pesos ngayon, pero 4,000 pesos a month na lang yung babayaran nyo after that, that will take you 13 months. Versus just paying 5,000 pesos every month, same lang yung period. So at least your 13th month pay now, lump sum siya ng pera, you can definitely pay off a large chunk of your debt. Tapos yung mga susunod na buwan, kahit na mas mababa na yung binabayad ninyo, it will take you a shorter time to pay off all your debts. So, these are proof na huwag nyo sayangin yung opportunity na meron kayong lump sum of money right now. To help you choose kung saan ko ba gagamitin yung 13th month pay ko, it's important to have clarity on your financial priorities. Ano ba tong financial priorities? Bakit ba napaka-importante nito? Kasi kapag alam mo kung ano yung gusto mo, kapag alam mo kung ano yung plano mo in the future, mas madali mag-decide kung saan mo gagamitin yung pera. Parang yung kaibigan ko, sabi niya, gusto na daw niya magka-jowa. Sabi ko, ano bang hinahanap mo? Ewan ko, basta, hindi pwede yon, di ba? Ang hirap nun. Dapat alam mo ano ba yung qualities na hinahanap mo sa isang significant other, sa isang SO. Ano ba yung mga green flag sa'yo? Ano ba yung mga red flag sa'yo, di ba? Hindi pwedeng gusto ko lang magka-jowa. Dapat alam mo din kung ano yung hinahanap mo. The same way with our financial priorities. Hindi tayo nagtatrabaho para magkaroon lang ng pera. Nagtatrabaho tayo kasi meron tayong mga gustong gawin, meron tayong mga gustong bilhin in the future. And if we are clear kung ano ba yung mga paggagamitan natin ng pera, then it is easier to make decisions. It will help us avoid distractions. Mas maiiwasan natin yung impulsive purchases. And we can gain confidence in creating long-term financial plans. Okay? So paano ba natin malalaman kung ano yung financial priorities natin? So you just have to ask 3 questions. The first one is, ano ba yung importante para sa akin? Ano ba yung mga para sa akin number 1 priority ko sa buhay? And it doesn't have to be long-term. It can be medium-term, it can be short-term. For example, ako, one of my short-term goals na very important sa akin is maipasyal yung nanay ko. Kasi sobrang bihira mag-travel ng mom ko. Lagi lang siya nasa bahay kasi retired na. Tapos my father passed away several years ago. So medyo malungkot siya pag wala yung mga apo niya sa bahay, pag wala kaming mga anak niya. So sabi ko sa kanya, sige ma, next year, let's do 1 domestic travel and 1 international travel. Mamasyal tayo, mag-travel tayo. So, para sa akin, very important yun. But it's only a short-term goal. Okay? Isa pang very important sa akin is to buy a rental property. Kasi iniisip ko, pag nag-retire ako, saan ako kukuha ng pera? So, gusto ko meron akong cash flow. So, that's also an important financial priority for me. So, ilista nyo, ano ba yung mga gusto kong gawin? Kasi if I will rank yung buying a rental property, buying a condo unit versus traveling with my mom, para sa akin mas importante yung travel. Mas urgent yon. Okay? So, yan yung gagawin nyo muna. Ilista nyo muna lahat yung mga goals niyo, lagyan nyo ng score kung gaano siya kaimportante. Another factor that you should consider is yung ano ba yung ibibigay niya sa'yo. Kasi may mga goals na ini-improve niya yung comfort, okay? Or some protect your future, some prevent disaster, and you have to be honest with yourself. Isa sa mga pwede nyo gawin is tanungin nyo, kapag hindi ko to prioritize, anong mangyayari kapag dinelay ko to? So, if hindi ko prioritize yung pag-travel ko with my mom, yung bonding ko with her, it might be too late in the future, di ba? Hindi ko kayang mag-travel with my mom forever kasi syempre tumatanda na siya, baka hindi niya na kayang sumakay ng eroplano, etc. Ano yung emotional impact at financial impact nitong goals na to kapag dinelay ko? So doon mo malalaman yung ano yung score niya pagdating sa importance. Another criteria that you can consider is yung regret. Pagsisisihan ko ba itong bagay na to kapag hindi ko binili or hindi ko ginawa? So imagine yourself 10 years from now. Kapag hindi ko to binili, 10 years from now, anong pagsisisihan ko ba? Meron akong enough na money ngayon para bumili ng iPhone 17. Gusto ko siyang bilhin. Pero isipin ko, kung hindi ko to bilhin, pagsisisihan ko ba na hindi ko siya binili 10 years from now or even just 5 years from now? Personal opinion, feeling ko hindi ka naman magsisisi na hindi mo binili yung iPhone 17 ngayon, di ba? So, that's a great criteria for you to determine ano ba yung may financial impact sa mga goals mo. So, which decision would you be proud of? And ano ba yung mga decision na sana sinimulan ko na ngayon pa lang? Regret is a powerful guide. Remember that. If you imagine kung pagsisisihan mo tong desisyon na to in the future, let that feeling guide you towards the right decision. So, pag hindi ko ba ginawa ito, mas hihirap ba yung situation ko in the future? Will it close important doors for me? Or will this decision reduce or add stress over time? So, isipin nyo, ano ba yung impact nito sa emotions ko if I don't prioritize this goal? On the other hand, pwede rin natin i-consider ano ba yung positive impact nito sa buhay ko kapag binigyan ko siya ng priority. Will it improve the health of my finances? Bibigyan ba niya ako ng peace of mind? Mas gagawin niya ba akong financially stable? And pagdating sa personal finance, ang na-observe ko sa mga clients ko, there are 4 things that create the most positive impact in the future. Number 1, pagmamanage at pagbabayad ng utang that will really create a big emotional positive impact in the future. Pangalawa, even yung pag-iipon ng emergency fund, napakalaking bagay. A lot of my clients and even friends, they were sharing with me during the pandemic, buti na lang talaga meron akong emergency fund. Kasi nagsara yung office for 2 months, wala kaming sweldo. Binawasan yung sweldo namin kasi hindi naman kami full-time na nagtatrabaho, etc. Buti na lang meron akong ipon. So, having an emergency fund has a huge positive impact in your financial future. Yung pag-i-invest consistently. I have a friend na nag-aral kung paano mag-invest during the pandemic kasi wala siyang ginagawa sa bahay. Sige, magbasa-basa ako. Tapos doon siya nagsimula. Alam niyo ba, nag-i-invest lang siya ng 1,000 pesos per month. Pero a few months ago, lumapit siya sa akin. Tuwan-tuwa siya. Sabi niya, buti na lang sinimulan na niya yung pag-i-invest dati. Kasi ngayon, ang laki na nung kinita niya. Sabi niya, wala akong ginagawa, nag-i-invest lang ako every month. Pero 25% na yung return na na-experience ko dun sa investment ko. So, napakalaking impact niya na hindi mo may imagine kagad eh. Kaya dapat talaga meron kang forward-thinking mindset. Lastly, protecting your income with insurance, that definitely has a positive impact in your financial life. Ang insurance, hindi mo siya makukuha, hindi mo siya mabibili kapag kailangan mo na. Hindi ka makakabili ng health insurance kapag may sakit ka na. Di ba? Lalong hindi ka makakabili ng life insurance kapag patay ka na kasi patay ka na. Di ba? So, dapat binibili ang insurance before mangyari yung tragedy. Hindi ka bebentahan ng car insurance kapag nabangga mo na yung kotse mo. Di ba? However, there are a lot of things that we cannot plan for. Ang daming mga unexpected things that will happen in our life. And we cannot prepare for all of them. These choices improve your financial life in multiple ways at the same time. That's why they are high impact. Now, you can put it all together. We discussed yung importance, yung regret, at saka yung impact. Write down, list down all your financial goals. Huwag mong i-filter. Huwag mong isipin na need ba to or want, or huwag mong isipin na mas importante ito o hindi. Basta ilista nyo lang lahat ng mga gusto nyong gawin sa pera, tapos lagyan nyo ng score. So this is an example. I would like to prepare for the college education of my child. Gusto kong bumili ng bagong phone kasi mabagal na yung phone ko ngayon. Pero meron akong mga loans na binabayaran. Gusto ko rin magbakasyon kasama ng friends ko next year, gusto kong bumili ng kotse. So these are just examples. Gaano siya ka-importante sa buhay ko? So 10 points yung college education nung anak ko. Tapos yung vacation with my friends hindi masyadong importante, 7 lang. So you also put scores on regret, on impact, i-total nyo siya. Malalaman nyo ngayon kung ano ba yung priority ninyo. And in our example, it looks like ang pinaka-priority ko dapat ay pag-ipunan yung college education nung anak ko. So yung tuition. The second is paying off my loans. And the third is yung car. So once na marank mo yan, mas madali mo nang mabibigyan ng assignment yung pera kung saan siya dapat pupunta. Ang pinakamababang score ay yung vacation. So, I'd probably tell my friends na gusto kong magbakasyon kasama kayo, pero medyo babudgetan ko muna. Kasi yung 13th month pay ko, meron na siyang ibang pupuntahan na mas importante. Diba? You're not saying no. What you're just saying is not now. And by listing down all your financial goals, it will give you clarity kung saan mo ba ilalagay dapat yung 13th month pay Christmas bonus mo. So how do you maximize your 13th month pay? One thing that I'm asking of you is to not waste this opportunity. Kasi predictable windfall na yan. Expected na yan. Pwede mo siyang pagplanuhan ng maaga kasi alam mo na nadadating eh. Diba? It can help you fast track your financial goals, and remember that a single smart decision can remove stress for months. Lalo na kapag ginamit mo yan pambayad ng utang. Nako, ang sarap sa feeling kapag may kinlose ka na loan or meron kang finul pay na credit card. It is not just extra money for you. It is a financial opportunity. It can cover needs, reduce pressure, and move you forward if you plan it well. And one of the first things that you can do is to save it up for an upcoming expense. Kasi yung gastos naman, sigurado yan. Sigurado tayong may mga parating na gastos like tuition ng anak, car or home maintenance, or car registration. Kasi end of the year na naman, magpaparehistro na naman tayo ng kotse next year. Magbabayad tayo ng amilyar ng bahay for this year, di ba? Insurance premiums if you're paying for insurance, and of course, emergency spending. Your bonus can protect your cash flow by covering them now so you can avoid debt later. Pag may nagtatanong sa akin, saan ba maganda gamitin or ilagay yung Christmas bonus nila or 13th month pay? Sometimes, the best move is to just save the money. Itabi mo na yan for your future expense. Kasi, bawas stress na yan, hindi mo na iisipin kung saan ka kukuha ng pera in the future, di ba? Kasi sigurado naman yung gastos na parating. The second place where you can put your money is, of course, pambayad ng utang. Pay down your debt, credit card, personal loan. Kung may salary loan kayo, mag-advance na kayo dun sa mga long-term loans niyo. Or, kung meron kayong kaibigan na hindi na kayo kinakausap kasi hindi nyo binabayaran yung utang nyo sa kanila, yan na yung Christmas gift nyo sa kanila. Bayaran nyo yung utang nyo sa kanila para friends na ulit kayo. Okay? Debt is expensive, especially if you're incurring monthly debts like credit card debts. When you pay down your debt, katulad ng illustration natin kanina, a big lump sum now will go a long way into helping you become debt-free faster. Mas mabilis mo mababayaran yung utang mo kapag malaki yung lump sum na binayad mo ngayon. It reduces interest charges immediately, it shortens your payoff timeline, and it frees up money for future savings or investments. So every peso you put toward high interest debt is a peso you no longer have to pay in interest. So that's instant gain. Lastly, what you can definitely do with the money is to invest it for your future. Pwede nyo siyang ilagay sa Pag-ibig MP2, sa SSS Pension Booster, or sa Personal Equity and Retirement Account or PERA. So I specifically mentioned these three investments because these are government-backed investments. Government sponsors. So, relatively, they are safer. So, yung mga takot na mawala ng pera, yung mga takot na ma-scam, ayan, pwede nyo siyang ilagay sa Pag-ibig MP2, SSS Pension Booster, at saka sa pera. However, if you're feeling a little bit more aggressive, you want to have higher return potential, you can check out mutual funds, UITFs, and the stock market as well. If your essentials and debts are under control, investing part of your bonus builds long-term wealth. Think about your future. Imagine niyo na yung retirement years mo. Gusto mo ba komportable yung retirement mo na lagi kang binibisita ng mga apo mo at saka ng mga anak mo? Or gusto mo ba yung retirement mo yung pinagpapasapasahan ka ng anak mo? Diba? Kasi may mga nakita na akong gano'n, nakakalungkot. Yung nanay o yung tatay, pinagpapasapasahan ng mga magkakapatid kasi nahihirapan sila alagaan. Diba? That's really sad. And I don't want that kind of future for you. It's really important to invest for the future because it's an opportunity for you to leverage yung nakuha mo. Not only does it build long-term security or it can possibly create passive income potential for you, investing is how you turn a one-time Christmas bonus into something bigger. Hindi mo papakinabangan yung pera mo one time lang kasi ininvest mo siya, lumago siya. It made more money for you. And that is exactly how wealth grows. If you want to be smart with your 13th month pay, you can either cover your upcoming expenses first, you can attack your debts if it's really stressing you out already, or you can invest it for the future. You can invest the rest for long-term growth. These three moves work together. A balanced approach protects today and prepares for tomorrow. Let's sum up everything that we discussed. Number one, your 13th month pay, it's not just extra money, it is seed capital. It is giving you a financial opportunity. Small decisions that you can make now can definitely have a big impact on your finances. Ano yung mga smart money moves? Number one, prepare for upcoming expenses. Alam mo na may maparating kang gastos eh. Itabi mo na yung pera para doon. Pay down high interest debt. Pag more than 12% per year ang interest rate, that's high interest debt. Bayaran nyo na siya. 12% per year. If it's higher than that, pay it down. Yung 3% ng credit card, 3% per month yon times 12, that's 36% per year. Bayaran nyo na yung mga credit card debt ninyo. Lastly, you can definitely invest for long-term growth. If you want to invest with the safety of the government, you can definitely choose Pag-ibig MP2, SSS Pension Booster, or pera. The important thing is nag-i-invest ka. Start building passive income now. Even small amounts compound meaningfully. Hindi mo kailangang mamili. You don't have to choose just one. Kaya natin ginawa kanina yung exercise na ilista lahat ng financial priorities natin. Kasi pwede nyong pagpilian, pwede nyong i-allocate yung pera ninyo, yung 13th month pay nyo to different types of goals. Yung 100% ng Christmas bonus mo, pwedeng 10% para sa regalo mo sa sarili, another 10% para pandagdag sa Noche Buena ninyo na grocery, 20% para sa utang, pagbabayad ng utang, 30% para sa investment, tapos all the rest, itatabi mo siya para sa future expenses mo. So ganun lang, pwedeng ganun. Depende na sa inyo. Personal finance is personal. Ang importante, aware kayo kung saan nyo ilalagay yung pera niyo at hindi nyo siya nagastos impulsively. Yung magugulat ka na lang, nasa na yung 13-month pay ko, biglang nawala, hindi ko man lang alam kung saan pumunta. Huwag sana ganon. So be intentional, be strategic, and make this year's Christmas bonus and 13th month pay count. Your 13th month pay has the power to reset or accelerate your financial life. use it wisely, and you'll feel the benefits long after the holidays. At saka masarap yung feeling na sisimulan mo yung bagong taon na napakagaan ng pakiramdam mo pagdating sa pera. And that's the end of our video. I hope ay marami kayong natutunan. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, share it to your friends, and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hanggang sa susunod nating video. Bye-bye!